Hello, I'm Dr. Khan, and let's cut to the chase on the 3 natural ways to lower blood pressure because blood pressure needs to come down, and no one will ever tell you some of these things. Number 1, add magnesium to your diet. There are multiple medical studies that show the benefits of magnesium.
What is this? Just adding magnesium to your diet? Come on!
Have a look at this study published in 2021. Effectively prescribing oral magnesium therapy for hypertension. They conclude that controlled hypertensives, people whose blood pressure is controlled by medication, and normotensives, people whose blood pressure is not high to begin with, do not show a blood pressure lowering effect with oral magnesium therapy, but oral magnesium greater than 240 milligrams per day safely lowers blood pressure in uncontrolled hypertensive patients. Basically, this is suggesting that if your blood pressure is uncontrolled, then adding magnesium by supplements, and it will be the same if you're eating a high magnesium diet, it can certainly help lower your blood pressure. Basically, if your blood pressure is high, it will help control your blood pressure. If your blood pressure is already controlled, then magnesium may not have the same effect, which is perfectly fine because that's what we need. If your blood pressure is high, we need something to lower the blood pressure naturally. Now check this out from the National Institutes of Health. You can also pause and take notes if you want, or I will have the link below for download in the description below also. This is titled Magnesium Content of Selected Foods. You can see foods listed on the left side and the amount of magnesium in milligrams on the right side, per serving on the right side. Look at this. It is so easy to get some magnesium. Pumpkin seeds and chia seeds are at the top of this list. You can see you can just sprinkle these on your food or whatever you're eating. Next, you have almonds, spinach, and cashews. Spinach and green leafy vegetables are actually a good source of magnesium. Then in the middle, you can see potatoes and brown rice. Potatoes and brown rice have a lot of sugar, so if you have diabetes or are overweight, then probably you should not consider this as an excellent source of magnesium, at least for you. Then if you move further down, you have bananas, salmon, and milk. Salmon is always great. Try to have 2 to 3 servings of oily fish during your weekend. That should be staple for you. Then at the bottom of the list, you have chicken, beef, and broccoli. So the takeaway is getting magnesium in your diet could be fairly easy. Just eat natural and try to go by this list. And you can, of course, pause, go back and take notes, but I will also have a link to this in the description below as well. So now we know how to correct our magnesium. Make sure you have an adequate amount of magnesium in your diet, and always have your doctor double check your magnesium levels, and don't make any medication changes without talking to your doctor first, because your doctor does know all of these things. Number 2 is going to be adding potassium in your diet. Again, multiple medical studies show that when your potassium levels are optimal, your blood pressure is also better, and sometimes supplementing potassium might be effective as much as taking medication, and you can have a lot of decent amount of potassium in potassium-rich foods. So have a look at this study. This is published in 2019. The effect of electrolytes on blood pressure. The lowest to highest reduction in blood pressure on potassium supplementation was between 3.5 to 9.5 points. That is almost a 10-point decrease. So if you optimize your potassium levels, it could have excellent benefits for your high blood pressure. And this almost 10-point decrease in your blood pressure is almost the same amount that some blood pressure medications bring about in you. Then this paper says, in addition, potassium was found to be especially effective in reducing blood pressure of high sodium consumers. This is basically suggesting that people who might be sensitive to sodium and salt and they get a high blood pressure in these individuals, adding a good proportion of potassium in your diet even helps reducing the effect of salt and sodium in these individuals who are sensitive to salt intake. If you are a salt reactor, then maybe having a good mixture of potassium in your diet, your salt may not be as bad for you for your high blood pressure. Also have a look at this statement from the American Heart Association website, heart.org. Foods that are rich in potassium are important in managing high blood pressure because potassium lessens the effects of sodium. The more potassium you eat, the more sodium you lose through urine. Potassium also helps to ease tension in your blood vessel walls, which helps further lower blood pressure. Now, these are some strong words, my friends. Now, to naturally add potassium in your diet. Now, I will also have a link for this in the description below. So many Fresh fruits and vegetables are rich in potassium. Feel free to pause this video and take notes if you want. Bananas, oranges, cantaloupes, honeydew, apricots, grapefruit, dried fruits such as prunes, raisins, dates are also high in potassium. Cooked spinach, leafy greens, broccoli, potatoes, sweet potatoes. I would avoid too many potatoes if you are a diabetic or if you are overweight. If you like fish, tuna and cod are a great source of potassium. Beans or legumes that are high in potassium include lima beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, soybeans, lentils. I actually like lentils. I like lentil soup, and I have that as a dessert because it is not high in carbohydrates. So that's what I look to do. One thing is that you would need to be careful with your potassium if you have kidney problems, as high potassium levels could damage your heart. Because if your kidney is weak, it does not tend to balance out your potassium properly, and high potassium levels could be injurious to your heart. Then, of course, always have your level checked and check with your doctor what you can eat and what you cannot eat. The third thing we should do to fix our high blood pressure is fixing our stress. And I do not mean that the good type of stress like learning how to play a violin or working on a science project or doing some construction in your house. I'm talking about chronic bad daily stress that keeps your adrenaline or your epinephrine levels high. That keeps your cortisol levels high. And when your cortisol is constantly high, you tend to develop all types of side effects, including lowering your immunity and raising your blood pressure, unfortunately. If you have got chronic bad stress in your life, you have got to work on that and figure out ways how you can mitigate it and avoid it. First, you have to identify your triggers that initiate your anxiety and stress. Is it any rude behavior that you just cannot tolerate? Or you have anxiety due to financial issues? Or is it a person that you just cannot deal with? You know, we all have these people that we just can't work with. But find your triggers and try to find some solution. It is all about controlling your triggers and watching out for that. One thing you can try is, which I did during my medical education, and that was taking rhodiola. So usually one capsule a day, and it really takes the edge off. That is what it does for me. It does not have the same addiction potential, and it seems to have helped me, especially during my medical training when we were working 100 hours per week and with no real sleep schedule. And I will have a link for this product in the description below as well. But you have to develop strategies to get rid of the chronic bad stress. So I agree, treating blood pressure surely is not easy, and there are multiple factors involved. But letting it go and not looking to lower your blood pressure can have serious consequences, as of course, you know, stroke, heart attack, blindness. It can even cause kidney problems, even though blood pressure can be caused by kidney problems itself. It can do all that, even early death. And if you really want to work on your blood pressure, I have a detailed course which I call the Blood Pressure Boss course. It will get you the knowledge that you need to correct your blood pressure. It goes over aspects of the physiology of blood pressure, as well as natural treatments and supplements and exercises, all of this without medication. And you can start doing this right now and today because it is readily available. And if you are taking medication, it goes over the uses, the most common side effects that you should know about. You have the whole course. So the good thing about this is you have the whole course available to yourselves. You can watch it whenever you want. It is also so economical that everybody can afford it, and it is the same price as a regular dinner outing. Although I feel that the value you will get is truly priceless, it will get you in the mood to fix your blood pressure. That's the real benefit in my opinion, and you will take your health seriously and give yourself the motivation that you need. Anyways, this is what I talk about in this channel: blood pressure, diabetes, medical devices that could help you, and how to live longer and happier lives. If this is of interest, do consider subscribing. Thank you, and check out this video right here. I believe this could be helpful. Thank you so much.